What is up, everybody? Back at it again with another jungle video. This one's going to be Diana jungle, and one of my favorite junglers. She's a full clear AP jungler, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know on how to play her. So right away, full clear junglers really prioritize farms. She especially wants to full clear on her clear. Runes Conqueror, by far, this page I run is the best. Every game, for itemizations, you have two options, Nashers or Lich Bane first item. Generally against more melee champions, Nashers is better. Lich Bane is better into like more bursts and squishy champions. But overall, if you just like Nashers, you can build Nashers every game. It's fine. You can go Lich Bane second or Shadow Flame second. Depends on how you want to itemize. So for starters, clears, I prioritize full clearing. This game, we have Mundo versus Sejuani, tank versus tank matchups. And we have a bot matchup, Zeri, Soraka versus Smolder, Taric. So right away, I identify that bot lane matchup is really volatile. So it is something I want to prioritize. So what I'm going to do is just clear towards it. Plus, if I think clearing towards a Mundo lane is just very silly because there isn't really much I can get from a Mundo. He's a really ugly champion and I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. Also, tank matchups, you just don't really want to path towards them. So here, a little delayed on my jungle pad. You can go E level 2 or you can go W. Generally on blue side, you want to go E level 2 because blue side, you have more single target camps with the Gromp and all that stuff. Important things to note is you always want to kind of cycle your spells with your passive attack speed bonus. So every time you cast a spell, you get a passive attack speed boost like this, for example. You want to kind of auto 1 or 2 times, sometimes 3, like this case. Just auto 3 times between your spell cycles. And this is a way for you to maximize the passive attack speed, which is very important on Diana, especially for your clear and early game. Because a lot of times your early game, your spells are really long cooldown. So that passive attack speed is actually a lot of your damage is what you're going to notice. Here I actually messed up my E thing, but it's okay. Doesn't really matter too much. You can just keep clearing and be very efficient with your clear. And just kind of cycle and move with your camp, right? So you see how I'm always kind of moving a bit with my camp because I'm always trying to get it close to the next one so I can use, you know, possibly my Q and E to get over the wall to get to it quite fast. So here, for example, I can just kind of Q like this and just maximize my clear speed, go on the big one, and boom. But I advise you to just be safe, play as if you're, you know, you don't want to mess up and reset camps. Just play very conservative, very focused. So here the clear is done. Enemy ball lane is kind of griefing, so what I'm going to do is kind of join in and help them a bit. So my goal is to just Q on the Elise first and go on her. And there I would have actually flashed on the Smolder if I had to, but because they kind of griefed that gank, we're able to kind of maximize and get value off that. So Elise, early game jungler, failing in an early game gank, you're just able to snowball off these little mistakes enemy team makes. And a lot of times people really grief, surprisingly, a lot of early games because they want to go for something a bit too aggressive. We always capitalize on that. So here I'm thinking, do I gank mid or do I just reset because I have pretty much got a kill. My early game is quite nice. Enemy team kind of grief their ball lane, so I'm able to kind of really reset and play off that. So here, this is the decision. If you go Nashers, obviously, you know, you can build like Blasting Wall, some swords or whatever. If you go Lich Bane, you just buy this component. Honestly, sometimes I just think to myself, okay, if I have a base where I have 1200, I'm going to go Lich Bane. But if I don't, I'm probably just going to go into Nashers. And that's a good strategy because this base on this much AP is really hard to have a 1200 gold base, right? So if you're able to get it, it's very nice for your game. Then you always want to kind of base around that timing. So here I'm just going to look to see if Crab is up. And really your ganks aren't that good after you flash, for example. I have a good ward there to spot the Elise play. I don't think I'm able to gank. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to gank this Orianna, right? I think she's quite hard to gank. And also, Diana is not an early game ganker. You don't have CC. And if people are healthy, they can just run away from you. And you don't have the damage to kill them. So how do you gank on Diana? Well, early game, like I just said, you counter gank. Or you gank people who are already low. Or if you have a lot of crowd control on your team, you can gank. Mid lane, this isn't really a gank, as you can tell. Neither one of us has reliable CC. She's healthy. We don't gank there. We farm. So what we look for is those golden opportunities where enemies are low. And where I can maybe Q flash, which is a very important mechanic you should master and think about. So here you always want to kind of clear. Interesting. I'm going to smite here. And you always want to clear for the full clear if you can. Sometimes your clear will be disturbed, so you always think about that. Honestly, I'm such a good base timer that I'm able to kind of do the Krugs here and maybe play for the Void Orbs right after. I saw Elise go bot side earlier, but I really don't know what her play is. Honestly, I might not be even doing the void grubs here because I think Sejuani has really strong early game. So what I'm going to do is prioritize my bot lane, who is already winning hard. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to play for Dragon here. So at least could be here. So I'm going to approach the situation a little delicate. But I'm going to see if she walks in, if they all in, right? I want them to all in. If they don't all in, I'm going to go around here and just go for a sweet, simple gank here. So we know summoners are down. Ideally, want to go on Smolder first. I could have flashed maybe third auto there, but I wasn't sure if he was healthy enough to live. But he ends up dying anyways, and we're able to get 6 here. So obviously, early game is really good for us. So how do we snowball and capitalize on that? Well, if my assumptions are right, Elise should be on Void Grubs, right? So if she's on Void Grubs, what do? Opposite side objective. First, we have to clear this pink, which is quite awkward because now they know I'm on it. And when they know you're on it, they can easily rotate for you. But I think Elise is on Void Grubs. And if Orianna walks in, I want to kill her anyways. And the reason I think so confidently why is she on Void Grubs, it's really deductive reasoning, right? Because she didn't show for this bot play. She didn't show at all. And don't you think Elise, if she was bot side, she would run her little 6 legs directly bot to fight there, right? So if she doesn't show in that situation, geez, I wonder, you know, where would she be if not there? Well, top side, right? Because she wants to play for the Void Grub. So you think these simple things, honestly, don't think are that complicated to understand, especially when you understand what junglers' habits are. And that's the thing you can watch. You can subscribe if you want to know more about that. I make a lot of short videos about that too. And here I'm going to just check my top side. She could steal my camps. Already stole my blue, but that was quite fast. So I think she might actually be lurking. Walls here. I'm going to go for it, but she has no stun. Okay. And with Diana, honestly, invading, going for super crazy plays, I think that's an easy way for you to hurt your game. So I always advise people to play really conservative early game. I could easily get invaded here by Sejuani, the Oinker. She was moving. I honestly think I might have to flash here, but we'll see in a second. Okay, she didn't invade me, so I'm okay. Why I'm worried about that, if you look on the minimap, I see Sejuani missing, and I don't know where Elise is, so it could be a double invade, so you always have to respect that. And in that situation, I'll be ready to kind of flash over the wall there. When you're playing against an early game jungler like Elise, she's really strong. She's really strong when she's paired with someone. If she paired with someone like Sejuani, who has a lot of crowd control, you're going to be in a bad situation. There I'm actually kind of missing my Q, so I should angle it a bit more so it hits the big one, because you want to kind of hit the big jungle camp there. So here, Anivia is mid. I think Orianna is going to rotate here. I'm able to kind of prioritize going on here. R right away because I want to maximize damage. W. Q and then back up right there. Orianna, no flash. Really good for us. I don't have my abilities up anymore, so I just have to respect that. And listen, you're not doing anything crazy here. I'm going to pot up just to be, you know, a little healthier. I'm just happy to get kills like this. If your early game on Diana jungle is going this well, you're full, like you're on par with the solo lane CS. I promise you will win your games. While you're also getting kills, while you're also pressuring for objectives, you will win your games. And I can guarantee you that. Just never let go of your farm, right? Like jungling, especially in this meta, if your jungler is a farming jungler, you have to farm because that's where a lot of your profile of gold is at. You rely heavily on that money. Honestly, I could go on here, but I really don't really have much damage without ulti, Turret, Smolder. They are these sort of rat champions that are just rats, and I don't like rats. And I'm going to have my Lich Bane buy, which is really huge in this situation. Here I go Lich Bane, I get my boots. This is where your builds can differ if you depend on whatever you want. Shadow Flame is really broken right now. I always advise you to go Shadow Flame for your pen item over Storm Surge second because of how much more value you're able to get from this item. It's just very heavy on a stat stick item. Storm Surge isn't bad, but you know, it's just very strong with this combo because you're going to really need the third item to be. Hold on, this might be a kill angle on a champion that I really have a hard time killing. So I want to know, does she have spells up? So here I think I'm just going to Q the minion, smite her, and R right away. I just need Mundo to block the cocoon here. You're gonna E to the minion because, okay. Very nicely done. I'm happy that Mundo died, really, because it gives me a chance to kind of apply some, get a free plate here, even get more solo experience. With the Lich Bane buy, you can see I'm actually very good at pushing towers. Here, you use your spell once, E, auto. I'm going to go for one more plate and then get the wave and then back up here. So here, one more passive auto should do the trick. And I'm going to be out of here, right? And this greed might be hard for me to get the Void Grubs, but listen, gold runs everything in the jungle hood. You want income, you need this gold. And I'm going to just snipe out one of these fast. I'm going to just skedaddle my little booty out of there now. And we could fight here because I have Anivia moving on creep wave. What we're going to do is play around here. Q for vision. We're just going to keep kiting. Oh my gosh, she's actually going in there. Watch out for Ori Ball. Misses. Beautifully done. Personally, I have R coming up, but it may be hard to get people to commit with me again. So that was okay to get one. Honestly, Void Grubs aren't the end of the world. So Johnny's real beefy. I'm talking real beefy, like Thanksgiving hog beefy. So we have to really respect that kind of a law level she's bringing right now. So I'm really strong right now. I'm healthy, back at it. I'm going to clear one side and either base, because I have 2k gold, which is a lot of money, and then play bot side. Here I like to do one side. We always talk about you want to do one quadrant of your jungle to keep the respawn timers synced so your pathing isn't going to be destroyed. In this situation, we're going to do exactly that. So here I personally like a build like this. I like Sorg Boots. But honestly, this game Merc Tread's really good too. I might have gone Merc Treads in another game, but I'm giga chatting it right now. So we're going to go Sorg Boots and just demonstrate pure beauty. Mundo's probably dead here, but I don't really care for him. Here, remember we talked about, make sure we hit the Raptor here. And with Lich Bane, you're much more about bursting than you are about, DPSing. You're going to notice is you're going to rely heavily on these extra Lich Bane kind of procs as you're farming. And as you're fighting, you're relying on the burst damage. So if I'm fighting someone like the Halal Pig, I'm really going to struggle killing Sejuani with my itemization. But that's only Sejuani, so everyone else I will have no issues with. And I personally, in this game, thought that was personally much better than anything else I could do here. I don't really want to base here because at least it's top side. She's giving up possible her bot side. What we're going to do is just clear here. We always want to max... Really pink here. We always want to max our W second, Q first, W second. I could run on them and run them down here, and I think I might just do that. So I'm going to just get a ward here. Doesn't matter who you hit, as long as you hit someone, because you can always chase them down a bit, again, with the Q. So here I'm going to go for the Q once I kind of get the vision here. And I don't think I'm going to kill anyone else. Honestly, that Q was beautiful arc. And yeah, her arc Q is a very, very important mechanic to understand. So you're always kind of angling your Q. You're not, when you see people, you're always kind of doing like this to them, right? The arc. So always remember the arc. It's not going to go in a line. When people aren't on top of you, you do it in this angle. And it's honestly not that hard. You'll get the hang of that quite soon. The big things are going to be Q flash mechanics that you're really going to have to hammer down on yourself. Here I have 1k, but I could base, honestly, but I don't really want to because I think I really don't need that extra gold to change myself, like my build right now. I'm so strong without it anyways. If I was a bit weaker, then I could consider basing there. My goal is to full clear. We talked about prioritizing farm. Farming is one of the most important things right now, because there's nothing the enemy team can do to pressure me to not farm, right? Like, farming is a window of opportunity that the enemy team is giving you, right? If there's nothing they're doing, any pressure that's really, forcing you to have to group up, then you're in a window of opportunity by farming. You always want to take those. As a full clear jungler who's really not going to be that slow, I always want to smite that, actually, because you actually get bonus gold and experience if you're the one who last hits it. Most likely ward it here, but we can always use the minion to kind of gap close as we talked about. I'm not really going to go on her, right? Because I'm not overextending with my plays. My plays are simple. My plays are conservative because I'm ahead. I don't really have to go crazy. And using your ulti is a big cooldown. A cooldown you want to not waste. Here I'm going to fake act like I don't see her and then go on her right after. She might flash and we're just going to flash over. Someone is here, so we're going to probably go on the Orianna here. R fast. Q backwards and just keep chasing a bit. I'm waiting for my E cooldown before we can actually, kill people here. No flash, she's dead. Really play around your champion's abilities, and there I know, Elise is going to try to cocoon me because I'm going head on in that direction, but you want to fake them out a bit, act like you see them till you know they want to hit you, till you're in that cocoon range, then you sudden change the direction. It works 50% of the time. It works every time. This could be dangerous because I don't have ulti and someone might try to contest me on this. But these outer towers are worth like 700 gold. So I like going for them. And you don't even really need a wave to kill them. This might be bad because Sejuani, the halal pig, is here, but we'll see it. Yeah, I missed that. Alright, 3k, we gotta buy our items. I'm gonna buy Shadowplane here. I could steal this, but I don't need this. And then what's important is to go into your Seekers. Yes, your Seekers are very important because I don't have enough to buy them, but I have enough to get the rod. I'm just gonna buy my rod right now. The importance of the Seekers is because without it, you're going to get CC'd and death and killed. And sometimes you can press R and then use your ulti in... and then Zhonya's right away, so people can't really go on you after. Very OP combo. Very core to Diana. Your third item generally is always armor or hourglass, even against like a heavy AP comp. Still really needed, unfortunately. And the few combos is you can Q flash, you can R flash. That's a really big one. R flashing is what I'm going to be using a lot of times, where it insta-cast and pulls everyone into you, which is really strong. So you always want to think about the combos of the mechanics. So here I don't have flash up. Enemy team, if they're all together, can be very scary to play against. But when they're isolated like this, they're just easy picking. So here I'm going to chase. I think Elise is here. So what we're going to do is think about Elise as we're chasing the Taric. Our chase is permit. We can perma chase people. It's really not that hard. Use the minion to kind of continue our pursuit. We're very fast. So here, if there's another wave, but we don't need it, we can just kill there. I am stuck. The wave mid is coming, so we can just use that wave right away. And yeah, honestly, that's all the really important things you need to know about Diana. When it comes to team fighting, that Zhonya's is going to be very, very important for us. And I'm a base here, or just go straight to dragon. Honestly, these situations, better to just get the objective so you don't have to like worry about that. I just like to go straight to it, get the crab, get the objective, cannibalize whatever jungle you can if you have time for it, and then base as you have the most income possible. And really think about your Q hitting. If you don't have your Q hit on people, like, you miss out on a lot of damage because your E cooldown, it's still relatively long if you miss your E, right? My E is going to be 17-second cooldown. So if I missed my Q, I missed out on possible 4 seconds having on my E, right? So it's a lot of stuff you have to think about. I know Elise is here, so I'm going to just wait. Here, same thing we talked about. We missed out on a lot of possible damage. Now we rely heavily on our E. Damn, my W was just about to come out. Q flash there, insta-cast, surprise people. It always ends up where you your mouse cursor is. So you always want to have your mouse cursor pretty much where it is. You press Q, then flash instantly after. Very nice combo, as you can see. Surprises a lot of people. Really good to get on people, especially if they don't have flash. If they have flash, sometimes you're going to flash E on them if they're really far away. But generally, Q flash is a very core mechanic with R flash as well. Those are the two main flash mechanical combos you can pull off. Here, the game is going really well. So in these sort of games where I'm really ahead, obviously I just play to like full clear my bot side and go into like Baron area. Diana, one of the best objective clear speed champions in the game. You will do Baron, you will do objectives so quickly, so I always recommend you'll just clear really fast. I would say her biggest weakness is just her reliance on ulti. Her ulti cooldown is short now, but earlier in the game it's going to be really long, so you have to think about that. And if you don't have ulti up, your team fighting is really bad. You could, outplay some people. You do have some damage. But you just don't have any lockdown, right? Lockdown's a big factor when you're killing some people, is having lockdown. Here my team's prepared for Baron. I do want to do Baron. It could be a flip because of, we're allowing them to push out mid. We do see Smolder, so what I'm going to do is push out this one wave first. And then I'm going to go for it. Here you can always jump over the wall with Baron. I don't know why this guy's here. I could go on him, but here for example, you just go here and hug the wall and then E over. Would love to see this guy steal it. Come on, Tarek, I believe in you. With Zhonya's up, you have a lot of play potential. It could be in this brush, so I'm just gonna Q it. My goal is to get on kind of like the Orianna here. Get on her, use the plan, W, auto. Lich Bane procs are huge, by the way. Lots of damage after casting a spell, so make sure you get those autos off. Interesting. In these situations, I want to chase. What do? I use the minion to kind of gap close. Because their Q literally will be right back up, so you always want to use that minion as that way to kind of get closer to the target. I'm out of mana, so going back in the jungle will help me get my mana. But yeah, I think this might be the end for the enemy team. Hope you guys liked that video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I've really been liking Diana this patch, so I'm going to be making a lot more videos of her. And yeah, good luck on the game. Good luck on the climb. Good luck with everything. And good luck on the Diana journey that you're once embracing. GG, and see you guys next time.